it's Deborah from the attic, and today I'm here with a flip through of my preparations for my March 2022 journal. I've got my page open at March, but before we go here I just want to quickly recap on February, because if you'll remember when I explained about how I was setting up my bullet journal for 2022, it was also intended that I would do a lot of drawing in this, and I would use it to make sure that I was drawing and colouring regularly. So for February, you will already have seen the sea scene that I used to decorate my planning pages, and then through the month I added more buildings. So I got quite into designing these based on a photograph that I had of some houses from where I live in the southwest of France, and I wanted to really build on that. So this is what I've done with these little scenes. I've done a video which I will link up there, which will show you where you can watch the video showing you how to draw these little buildings, and I will have another video coming up in future showing you how I colour them. I have a very unique, well maybe not unique, but I have a very particular way that I colour, and I'll share that in a future video. But these were the building drawings that I did, and I went from this very simplistic style to wanting to expand that a little bit. So this was drawn from a photograph of quite a famous street, the Rue Galande in Paris, with these really rickety old buildings at one end of it. And I wanted to draw this precisely because these shapes go in so many strange directions. You can't just rely on guesswork to get this right. You have to really look at the angles. So this was a great exercise for forcing me to look properly at things, because I think a lot of drawing is just how you look at the item you're trying to draw. And then this was great fun. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more colourful, and that was a nighttime scene. So I found some photographs of old buildings that line a canal in Amsterdam, and I used the various gable ends to then build up a background of these buildings going up to form to fill this square. It's a style that I quite like, this idea of filling a square with buildings, and obviously you would never see this in Amsterdam. This isn't the way that you know, they don't have hills, so you wouldn't see this sort of increase in building sizes, but it was more of a way of observing and then reusing images in this sort of layered sequence, and then they're coloured in again. Some of the windows are blacked out because it's night time and maybe those ribs aren't being used, and some of the windows have got full light showing through, and I think that's a really cheery little scene. I continued my buildings theme when I moved into March, and that's having done all of these little cards as well. These are great fun to do, and they'd make great little greetings cards. If someone's moving to a new house, you just say welcome to your new home, and you've got a card. For March I decided that I would continue with my simplistic buildings theme and do my opening page for March using that. These are the same style of buildings as I was doing on my little cards. The difference here is that there is a place I know in France called Rocamadour, where you have this amazing cascade of buildings and church buildings, and I think there's a monastery, all sort of cascading down the side of a very steep hill. And taking that image that I had in my mind, because I could remember that, and matching up my little buildings that I've been drawing previously, I arrived at this sort of a design where buildings just appear to cascade down a hillside, and then obviously coloured them in. I have my March calendar all ready and set out, and on the inside of this page I've made a note again of the colours that I've used to colour in my houses. I've done another little layout here, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've used some beautiful Coloro paints that have a little shimmer to them just to add some dots around the outside. I think that's rather pretty. I've got my goals all ready. I've got my March dates all laid out. I've got my very simple font here. I've yet to ink this in, but I've highlighted things that are happening, places I'm going. I'll add friends' birthdays. I've got the new moon and the full moon, And then on this page, once again, I've got my ideas for filming, for designs, and then just general ideas. And this could be recipes or things that I want to try drawing. Anything at all would go in these columns. And then I've added a little design with buildings at the bottom. And this time I've joined up a tree in a building and a tree in a tree with some bunting just to make it look a little bit more cheerful. I've left lots and lots of blank pages behind this. I don't go on to the next month until I've completed or I'm halfway through the existing month because I don't know how much I want to draw in any one month. So I've left myself with plenty of space to keep drawing. I really love drawing in this book. This is an Archer and Olive journaling book. And the pages are just so smooth. It's wonderful for drawing on, for colouring on, for inking on. But as I've mentioned in a previous video, I won't be using this for watercolours because I don't want the paper to mottle, and I did find that happening when I tried to apply watercolours in an earlier image. So that is my March setup. I will be doing extra drawing videos as well coming up in the next few weeks. I've got some new ideas for you. So keep watching, and I hope that you find this useful and it maybe inspired you to make a nice simple journal for yourself, because this layout really couldn't be simpler. This is basically all I need, these 3 pages, and I'm leaving a lot of space for creativity in between. I'm going to say thank you very much for your time. As always, thank you for watching, and until we meet again, stay safe and take care.